What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Thingos back again for another video, and you already know I'm gonna be talking about Invincible again today. Like most of the time, fucking love Invincible. But now that the show has stopped, look for different ways to still provide you guys with entertaining content regarding the character, the mythos, the world, the comic, the show, and all that good stuff. But we do got an interesting article here from IndieWire. Now, I was gonna make a video discussing this more on a personal tip, but I always go over articles that I feel like have a standout title or could be a good potential read. So I turn on the camera, get some footage. You know, why not make another video as I go through it? Now, why I thought this was interesting is because the title says Invincible, pushing superhero adult animation to new subversive heights. You feel me? So this is something I definitely want to dive into, and I'll give you my thoughts after I read through the article. So let's go right into it here. Amazon Prime's Video's Invincible is cause for celebration. The Robert Kirkman comic book adaptation not only offers the first hour-long adult animated superhero series in all of its graphically violent glory, but it's also wrapped around a single dramatic narrative. Shouts out to Invincible. You already know what time it is. We take it over! Anyway, this makes it uniquely compelling, particularly in comparison to the MCU and DCU. It was a hard sell, and I give Amazon the credit for taking the chance on this because it hadn't been done before. Kirkman, who serves as series creator, there were no restrictions when it came to violence and gore, and the show's popularity with the comic book fan base and beyond has resulted in the streamer greenlighting 2 more seasons, allowing Kirkman to continue turning the animated superhero story completely on its head. Now, I knew it was going to be a reaction from the public that was going to be similar to this. When I first read the comic book of Invincible, and I saw like the amount of violence, just the grotesque, over-the-top fight scenes, just the overall brutality of it, I knew that if they were to represent that properly in the show, that would be the thing that everybody would be talking about the most. Not the twist with Omni-Man, hell, not even the character of Omni-Man or everything else that happened around season 1. The main thing that would stick in people's minds the most is just how crazy it is with the violence, how intense, how brutal, how violent, and the fact that it is an animated cartoon that is coming like this. Now, I already knew that there are cartoons that can clearly be less violent. Hell, one of my favorite animations of all time that I still think is better than Invincible, despite, me not really talking about it like that, is Castlevania on Netflix. I'm working on a review for season 4, so be on the lookout for that. But there's plenty of adult animation out there. It's just Invincible is the one that really took the fuck off and made it to the mainstream. Now, like I said before when I was talking about Invincible and the impact that it will have on the world and how everybody's gonna fuck with it and they're gonna love it and stuff like that, in numerous videos I made before the show even started, I can say wholeheartedly, I had no idea that the show was going to blow up as big as it did. This show is on everybody's mind and everybody's mouth. Every time I go on social media, I see a new meme of Omni-Man telling somebody to think, or not even Omni-Man, somebody telling somebody else to think. Like, that meme is just taking the fuck over. It's crazy. Everybody is loving Invincible, talking about Invincible, like YouTubers that I look up to and have been watching for years. They're talking about Invincible, about how amazed they are and about how much it caught them off guard and how much they enjoyed the story. And a lot of that, damn near all of that, is because of how Robert Kirkman chose to display the violence and the action as well as mix it with the storytelling. What hooked a lot of people to this show was the first episode. You notice how it starts off. It has you thinking that it's a typical traditional superhero show with your heroes saving the day, fighting villains and all that good stuff. It even has heroic music, the way that the heroes open in, coming to the scene, the way they fight, like everything is set up to really catch your ass off guard. You think that you know what you're getting into. But if you make it all the way to the end of the level, episode, hell, I done talked to people that don't even finish the first episode and cut it off because they think it's ripping off too much of other stuff and they get frustrated. They're like, damn, bro, this show ain't nothing but a carbon copy of woody woo. and then I gotta tell them to keep going, and then when they make it to the end of the episode, they're just like, bro, what the fuck? And they just keep going, and then they just keep getting blown away more and more and more, especially when they get to the series finale. Invincible is taking the fuck over, like I told y'all, man. It is an amazing series, and it definitely deserves all the praise that it is getting. Now let's keep going through this article, finish it out. So, Invincible revolves around a 17-year-old Mark Grayson, voiced by Stephen Urine, who struggles with his dual identity and battling his superhero father, Nolan Omni-Man, who's of course voiced by J.K. Simmons, who's basically a sleeper agent from the planet Viltrum bent on controlling Earth. It's very much a subversive Superman riff for Kirkman. It's not only an inspiration, but the idea of Superman and Kryptonians having ill intent towards the Earth is possibly a more modern take on that kind of story, he added. The father figure having a dark secret and how it affects Mark's life after looking up to him is really the basis of this story. However, the 2D series, predominantly animated at Korean Studios' Maven Image platform, departs from the 144-volume comic book saga in several respects. First, the big reveal that Omni-Man is the villain comes at the climax of the first episode. Now that's what I was talking about previously in a video when I was saying how Kirkman mentioned in another article that he wanted to kind of switch things around a bit from how it happened in the comic book, whereas he had a lot of arcs and situations, fight scenes and scenarios that happened in the first season. All of those technically happened after Omni-Man revealed that he was a Viltrumite and his intentions for the Earth. So the fight with Battle Beast, Mark going to Mars, him fighting against the Reaniman and D.A. St. Clair, all of that stuff happened after Omni-Man revealed who he was. It didn't happen before. So they switched that around in the show, but I think that it paced it all out really well, and it got those other arcs out of the way nicely and neat. And you know, it begs the question of what they're going to be doing with season 2 with all that extra space. But at the same time, I had no problem with the stuff they changed and the added material that they squeezed into season 1. So I'm just looking forward to see how they do it all. Now let's see. We held back a little in the comic book series to his detriment, he admitted. I knew it was something I wanted to push to give a real sense of what the show was, and having the bulk of that episode being lighthearted and showing the Guardians of the Globe superhero team in action took it in one direction before we made that pivot. Exactly what I was telling y'all. The Guardians of the Globe getting wiped out, that was the hook. And in the comic book, Omni-Man being revealed as a villain and beating the shit out of his son, that was the hook. And what a pivot. Omni-Man inexplicably turns on his team and brutally kills them in a long and bloody fight. I wanted to deliver something completely different, Kirkman said. And having them put up a good fight and disabling Omni-Man for a few episodes, heightening the tension and adding to the mystery about why he killed them. Was he being controlled? I wanted to push the fight as much as possible with the intensity and gore. I wanted it to be jarring. See, this is why I fucking love Robert Kirkman. I'm about to reread this one more time. I wanted to push the fight as much as possible with the intensity and the gore. I wanted it to be jarring. And look, let me say something, good sir. Let me say something, Robert. You succeeded, Robert! I was jarred, okay? My mouth was fucking jarred, man. Although the comics already contain some ethnic diversity, for instance, the imposing black criminal enforcer Titan is voiced by Mahershala Ali. Kirkman was keen on being even more inclusionary in the series, with Ewan's Grayson, his mom Debbie, voiced by Sandra Oh, and the supercharged Rexplode, voiced by Jason Mantzoukas, all redesigned to reflect their ethnicity. Now, this is also something that I talked about when we were kind of going over the characters that were revealed before the show came out, like the character designs and the changes that they made to certain characters like Amber, Invincible, Debbie, stuff like that. Hell, even William, even though he looks the same, you know, him being gay and all that, he's pretty much going over how he made the ethnicities of these characters match the people who were doing their voices, which I have no problem with. Honestly, I want to be real with you. I don't even really care about inclusivity or nothing like that. my nigga, just tell a good story. I don't care if you white, black, green, or purple, but if you want to check off those boxes, I can see how it was easy to be done that way just by changing the characters that the people are already voicing to match more with the people that are doing the voices. You know what I'm saying? So I don't mind that. In the end, it worked out. They still look the same for the most part, except for Amber. She has the most drastic change, but nobody really liked Amber anyway, so it's all good. Let's see. You know what, man? They keep going on and on about this diversity and all that stuff. Honestly, I'm gonna just leave it be. You know what I'm saying? Either way, I enjoyed the show, and you can see a lot of other people enjoyed it too, and you can see why they're saying they enjoy it. Let me know why you enjoyed it.